Okay, so the disc is up. And this, we've got Team White and Team Yellow here. White taking the disc in. Got the brick mark. That's Jake. Jake finds J-Mitch. There's Esty with the disc. And Esty finds Chris Moore in the back of the end zone. And the disc is up. That was the first point there by the white team. So they're ahead 1-0. Hammer there by Aaron Tomlinson trying to find Brad, but they sent out a little bit too far. And now Jake's taking the disc in right at the goal line. Brad on the mark. Sends something out, finds J-Mitch. J-Mitch puts it up, but it's just a little bit too far in front of Chris Moore. Here's Chris Rhines taking it in. Oh, and that is hand blocked right at the goal line. So White gets a lucky break. Things are really bunched up, but somehow he finds Esty wide open in the back of the end zone. Alright, so the white team pulls the disc in. They've got a 2-point advantage right now. Yellow team still looking for their first strike. Aaron Tomlinson sends it out to Brad. There's Chris Rhines back on the dump. Stall count getting high, but he just barely gets it off there to Aaron Tomlinson, but that is hand blocked. And Josh Mitchell. Now Jake puts the disc up the line, but Aaron Tomlinson trailing there for the D. Gets the disc off right before the stall violation, but ends up throwing it right into one of the white defenders' hands, and they capitalize once again. Alright. So Chelsea Boschman pulling the disc into play. Brad tapping it in. Tomlinson now with the disc, and another hand block by Josh Mitchell. Oh, wide open corner, and he sees Jake for the score. All right, and the disc is in play. White finding themselves at a commanding lead right now, 4-0, and they're finding themselves with another chance to capitalize, and they do. Now it's 5-0. All right, and the white team pulls the disc once again. It's a good sign when you're pulling the disc a lot. So that means you're getting in the end zone, and that's exactly what they've been doing. So score is 5-0, white advantage. And there's another turnover by the alumni squad. Jake puts up an outside in flick. And that goes down out of bounds. All right. So Chris Rhines with the disc. And Chris Moore on the mark. There's Brad stretching out. Finds his sister. Lindsay, who puts it up, and that is deflected. So, white disc. Jake Philbrown taking it in play, puts up a flick down the line. There's J-Mitch in the corner of the end zone. Right, and the disc is up. Chris Ryan's bringing it in the back of the end zone. Finds Brad. Brad up to Aaron Tomlinson. Looking. Fakes a hammer. Dishes it off to Brad. Stall count getting high, but he just barely gets it off to Aaron Tomlinson right at the sideline. Chris Rines with the disc now. Sees it off to Brad, but that goes through his hands. Would have been their first strike, but missed opportunity right there. There's Jake. Jake finds Esty. Esty's searching. Finally dishes it up, really bladey. Somehow Chris Moore catches it. Throws up a hammer, and that is deflected. But I think he still caught it. Wow, nice play by J-Mitch to follow that one and track that into his hands. It was an impressive play there. Dishes it off to J-Mitch, doesn't find anything, he lights ahead. Or to Jake, sorry. That was J-Mitch who dished it off. And now it's Esty with the disc. Esty puts it up. That was deflected. And the yellow squad has another chance to get this one in the end zone. So Chris Rines with the disc at the corner. Stall count climbing. Dishes it off to Brad. Good reset pass there. Brad scanning his options. Sees Aaron Tomlinson. And T over to Brad again. Brad in the center of the court. There's Chris Rines. And bails him out before the stall count reaches to 10. Now the stall count's climbing again, and he sees Tasha there on the swing pass. Tasha finds Rines again. Rines forces it up there, but that is deflected. Looks like a foul called on the mark there. So that one's going back to Chris Rines, I think. We're discussing it right now. So everybody going back to where they were. Disc is checked back in. And he gets it off to Aaron Tomlinson. Aaron Tomlinson tries to get the give and go to Rines in the end zone, but can't connect. So another scoring attempt missed there for the yellow squad. Jake finds Esty. Esty over to J-Mitch. J-Mitch pushes it up in front. Jake, and that is their 7th score in a row. Oh. Right, and there is J-Mitch. Pulls the disc. Chris Rines bringing it in play from under the staircase. He's bringing it up to the brick mark because that landed out of bounds. And he finds Brad over on the side. Brad looking. Sees Rines again. Rines looking. There's Aaron Tomlinson. Aaron Tomlinson faking. Sees Brad in the center for a nice reset pass. Brad dishes it back to Rines. Doesn't find anything he likes in front. Good handler work there. Gets it right back to Brad. Brad in the corner to Lindsay. Just out of reach. So, white squad taking over on offense. There's Jake Philibran on the sideline. Gets it up to Esty. Still on the sideline. J. Mitch with the disc. Finds Jake. Jake puts it over in the corner of the end zone, but that's just a little bit too far out of reach for Chris Moore. Here comes Chris Rhines, bringing the disc in play. Finds Brad. And that is deflected there by Jen Steves. Heads up play there. Looked like it went through Emerson's hands, and then Jen was there to make the D, and I think that was another score for the white squad. That's 8 in a row now. There's Jen Steves, pulls it with a hammer. Nice looking hammer. There's Chris Rhines with the disc, gets it off to Brad. Brad finds AT. AT back to Brad for the give and go. Nice work there. They're just outside their end zone. Stall count climbing high, so he dumps it back to Rhines. Rhines checking his options, sees AT on the side. AT fakes to the center, and then finally gives it to the center, not to Rhines, but to Brad. Brad finally gets it in the corner to sister Lindsay for the score, their first point of the game. So, resuming play at the start of the second half. Score is 8-1, white team on top. Alright, Emerson there making a catch. That was closely contended, I believe, by Callie Pelletier. And that is Brad with the disc on the sideline. Dishes it back to Rhines. Rhines puts it back up the sideline to Lindsay. Lindsay sends it there to Tasha, but that goes through her hands. A little bit unfortunate because that would have been their second point of the game. They're kind of in desperate need for points right now. There's Josh, finds Chelsea. Chelsea gets it back to Josh. Josh puts it up to Callie for a nice catch in the end zone. Very athletic play. All right. White team pulls the disc. Brad fetches it from under the stairs. Brings it in at the goal line. And puts it up to his sister, but that was a little bit behind her. It goes through her hands, and now Chris Moore with the disc. Sees Jake. Jake finds Esty. Esty searching, finds Jake just outside the goal line. Gets it to Chris Moore, who just barely holds on to that. That was closely contested. All right. So Chris Moore pulls the disc in for the white squad. Rhines takes it in, and that is intercepted by Callie. Callie dishes it back to Esty. Esty sees Chelsea. Chelsea finds Jake in the end zone. Right? Yeah. And Chris Moore pulls the disc for the white team. Brad takes it in, finds Chris Rhines right away. Stall count climbing. Just barely gets it off, finds AT. Oh, and that goes through the hands of Chris Rhines. Looks like he slowed up a little bit and didn't realize the disc was in front of him. Now the white team with another chance to expand their lead. Callie finds Chelsea back up the line, and that goes through their hands. A little bit of a miscommunication there between Chris Moore and Callie. Disc is reset back to Brad. And there's another turnover. Lots of turnovers here. Wow. Interesting pass there. Somehow SD holds on to it and finds Callie in the... And the disc is up once again. Rhines puts it in play, finds Brad in the middle. Brad searching. Stall count climbing. And there's Rhines with the disc. Rhines resets back to Brad. Brad pushes it off the sideline, but Esty is right there to break it up. Now bring it in at the sideline. Gets it off the sideline to J. Mitch. J. Mitch back on the sideline to Esty. Esty fakes. I think there might have been a call, but I don't know. That was confusing. And Jen pulls it with the hammer. Nice looking hammer there. Rhines gets the disc off to Brad. Brad checking out his options, finds AT. AT bobbles it a little bit, but just holds on. Gets it to Brad. Brad puts it back to AT. Good little give and go there to Natasha. Oh, and it's just out of her reach. She made a good effort to get there, but just wasn't quite enough. Now Jen taking the disc in at the goal line. Taps the disc in. And now we're on. Natasha stalling. Now it's off to J. Mitch. J. Mitch finds Esty. Esty gets it off to J. Mitch. J. Mitch crossfield to Chris Moore, and I think he was in the end zone, but I'm not sure. Yeah, just barely in. All right, and Jen with another nice hammer on the pole. Here goes Brad taking it in. Brad gets it off to Chris Rhines. Rhines finds AT. AT looking. It's over Emerson's head, but connects with Lindsay, and I think he might have been in the end zone, but just for safety, he gets it off to Emerson there. And that's their second point of the game. And Brad pulling the disc. Disc is up. Chris Moore retrieves it. Hey, come on, bad spirit, guys. Chris Moore with the disc. Finds J. Mitch. J. Mitch looking. Finds Callie. Callie in the center of the field. And J. Mitch. Back to Phil Brown. Oh, and that's a little bit behind Jen there. So Chris Rhines with the disc. Trying to find something. There's Brad. Brad gets it to AT. AT fakes and then finally puts it up, and I think that was in. That's their third score there. Looks like it went off of Jake's face. All right, and the disc is up. Brad pulls it in. All right, Jake putting the disc in play on the goal line. Tries to find where it went out. Now the disc is in. Gets it off to J. Mitch. J. Mitch fakes, puts it up there, floaty, and that is deflected by Chris Rhines. Did not want to let Callie here get another point for the white squad in the end zone. And now, searching the field. This is Brad up near the sideline. gets a disc off right before the stall violation for another point for the yellow squad. Right, so Brad pulling the disc in play off the ground. The white team can't get in front of it, so they're going to have to take it in over at the goal line. If it hits in bounds, yeah, it goes to that goal line. Right. And Jake Philbrown takes the disc in play. We're across the goal line. And here is Josh Mitchell. Josh puts it up to Chris Moore in the end zone. That is their 15th point of the game. All right, and the disc is back in play. Brad with the disc. Stall count climbing up to 9, and that goes through the hands of Emerson. Another turnover. That's a Blady pass there up to Esty, connects, and J. Mitch with a nice catch in the end zone. Chelsea Bushman pulls the disc in play for the white squad. Chris Rhines gets it off to AT. AT over Brad. That was almost deflected by Jake Philbrown. Good defensive effort. Finds Emerson. Emerson gets it up to Rhines, but that was a little bit behind them. Couldn't quite hold on to it. Puts up a prayer, and that falls incomplete. Brad with the disc. Brad finds AT. AT puts it upfield, but that's incomplete. Jake Philbrown with the disc on the goal line, puts up a big flick to the corner and connects with J. Mitch. Score number 17. 17-4. All right, and the disc is up. Brad handling, puts up a flick, but that is too low. The yellow squad not really marking up on defense. Hit called, the throw is put up though. Deflected. Oh, now Aaron Tomlinson with the disc. Brad with the completion, doesn't see Rhines near the cone. Near the cone, I meant to say. And finally dishes off to Tasha. Tasha back to Brad. Brad searching, sees Emerson in the end zone for their 5th point of the game. I believe that is all she wrote.